Welcome back to Ask the Arborist, where we answer simple questions about trees, landscapes, and how to care for the living world around us. Today's question is one I see all the time. Mulch. Is mulch just there to make the landscape look nice, or does it actually help the tree? Vincent, why does mulch matter so much?
That's a great question, Victoria. And yes, mulch can make a landscape look finished and clean. But for trees, mulch is much more than decoration. When it's done correctly, mulch helps protect the soil, conserve moisture, moderate soil temperature, reduce weed competition, and support the living root zone around the tree. So I like to think of mulch as a simple way to care for the tree from the ground up.
So it's not just about appearance, it's actually helping the tree's environment.
Exactly. A tree's roots are not just deep underground like many people imagine. Most of the absorbing roots, the smaller roots that take up water and nutrients, are in the upper layers of soil. That means the surface of the soil really matters. When we protect that surface, we're protecting a big part of the tree's root system.
So what does mulch actually do for those roots?
First, mulch helps hold moisture in the soil. In places like Southern California, where we have long, dry periods, that can be really helpful. Mulch slows evaporation, so the soil doesn't dry out as quickly after watering or rain. That gives the roots a better chance to access moisture over time.
That makes sense. So it's almost like a protective blanket over the soil.
That's a good way to say it, and it also helps with temperature. Bare soil can get really hot in the sun. Mulch helps buffer that heat. It keeps the soil cooler during hot weather and can help reduce temperature swings around the roots.
What about weeds and grass around trees? I see a lot of trees with lawn growing right up to the trunk.
That's very common. Grass and weeds compete with young trees for water and nutrients, and when grass grows right up to the trunk, people often use lawn mowers or string trimmers near the tree. That can damage the bark, especially on young trees. Mulch helps create a protective zone around the tree. It reduces competition, protects the trunk from equipment damage, and gives the tree a better growing environment.
So how should mulch be placed? Because I've seen some trees where the mulch is piled really high against the trunk.
Yes, that's one of the biggest mistakes. We don't want a mulch volcano. That's when mulch is piled up against the trunk like a mountain. It may look neat, but it can hold moisture against the bark, encourage decay, and create problems around the root flare.
So don't pile mulch against the trunk.
Right. The root flare should stay visible. That's the area where the trunk widens at the base and transitions into the roots. Keep mulch a few inches away from the trunk. Then spread it outward in a wide, even layer. Think more like a donut than a volcano.
I like that. Donut, not volcano.
Exactly. And the wider the mulch ring, the better, especially for young trees. A small circle is okay, but a wider ring protects more of the root zone. You don't need to cover the whole yard, but even a few feet around the tree can make a difference.
How deep should the mulch be?
A good general guideline is about 2 to 4 inches deep. Thin enough that water can still move through. Thick enough to protect the soil. But again, keep it pulled back from the trunk.
What kind of mulch is best?
Organic mulch is usually best for trees. Things like wood chips, shredded bark, leaf litter, or arborist chips. As those materials slowly break down, they add organic matter to the soil and help support soil life. That's one reason I like arborist wood chips. They're not just covering the soil, they're slowly becoming part of the soil system.
So mulch can support the living soil too?
Yes, and that's an important point. Healthy soil is not just dirt. It's a living system with roots, fungi, bacteria, insects, organic matter, air, and water. Mulch helps create a more natural environment, similar to what trees experience in a forest. Leaves fall, branches break down, organic matter builds, and the soil stays covered. In a landscape, mulch helps us recreate part of that process.
That's interesting, because in nature, nobody is raking the forest clean around every tree.
Exactly. In a forest, the ground is usually covered. There's leaf litter, decomposing wood, and organic material. But in our landscapes, we often remove everything. We rake, blow, mow, and leave bare, compacted soil. Mulch helps bring some of that natural protection back.
Are there any mulches people should be careful with?
Yes, I'd be careful with rock or gravel around trees, especially in hot areas. Rock can absorb and radiate heat. It doesn't break down into organic matter, and it can make the root zone hotter and less biologically active. There may be places where rock makes sense for design or drainage, but for tree health, organic mulch is usually a better choice.
So, for a homeowner listening, what would be the simple takeaway?
The simple takeaway is this. If you want to help your tree, protect the soil around it. Use organic mulch, spread it wide, keep it about 2 to 4 inches deep, and keep it away from the trunk so the root flare stays visible.
So, mulch helps with moisture, temperature, weeds, trunk protection, organic matter, and soil life. That's a lot more than just making the yard look nice.
Exactly. Mulch is one of the simplest things you can do for tree health. It's not flashy, it's not complicated, but it supports the part of the tree we often forget about, the roots and the living soil around them.
I love that. So the message is, protect the soil, protect the roots, and don't make a mulch volcano.
That's right. Donut, not volcano.
Thanks, Vincent. And thank you for listening to Ask the Arborist. If you have a tree question, send it our way. Your tree might be trying to tell you something.